My father moved here in 1936, took over a small brickworks and formed what is now the Bulmer Brick and Tile Company.
Fortunately, grandfather decided to build a beehive downdraft kiln that could be blacked out, and we were able to continue firing during the war when most other yards were shut down because of the worry about aircraft seeing the fires.
We went over to using the new kiln, which was our saviour.
End of the war, the market really changed dramatically and need to rebuild the country really. And small handmade yards like this didn't really have a place in that market. At that stage there was no conservation industry, so most of them fell by the wayside.
In 1974 we were at a very, very low ebb. The older men had all retired, had no young trainees and no real direction to go. I fortunately was asked to do a lecture, and I realised then that what we took for granted had been forgotten. So we started to go back into the old ways, and it got us into what has now become the restoration and conservation industry.
Hampton Court Barrack Blocks is a very interesting project. When a member of the public is visiting the palace, they want to have that wow factor of seeing a very beautiful Tudor palace. They don't want to be looking at a humble sort of stable block. So it's trying to get a sensitive repair carried out. That poses a lot of problems, a lot of accurate work, detailed work from the bricklaying team, and we're very happy with the work that's gone back there.
When it comes to restoration, you can't do it by machine generally, and they're often quite small orders and very specific. Our first priority always is the building, and by concentrating on the building, then we can begin to pick up all the nuances in the general way it was constructed over many years sometimes. Not only architectural history, but the history in terms of the geology and all those sorts of factors come very much into play.
Gwynedd Summer House, very different prospect. That was taken on by the Landmark Trust. It was a banqueting house built in the grounds of a large estate and really has no use for that purpose now. They've turned it into a place where you can go and stay for the weekend, so there's a kitchen, all the modern facilities. It couldn't be a garish repair, it had to be a very subtle repair, and I think it's been a very successful build and a wonderful place to go and stay.
More and more we're being focused in on specific jobs that apparently no one else really can match, and that would be the clay, the sands we use, the knowledge we provide. So we're expanding quite quickly in the area of research and development, and some 60 years later we're beginning to come back to the same job for another project. I'm finding now when I'm on site I can actually say, oh yes, we did that chimney in 1957 or we did that one in 1968, and this can be a great help of course to the way they plan the work they're going to do.